But let's start the show with the biggest WTF surprises in the draft. And I think everybody had this same reaction. The Atlanta Falcons taking Washington quarterback Michael Penix Jr. with the 8th overall pick. But Penix being a top quarterback isn't the WTF surprise. It's the fact that the Falcons just signed and paid Kirk Cousins a 4-year, $180 million contract with $100 million guaranteed. So you would think if they're in that win now Super Bowl mentality or bust, they would go out, maybe get him some weapons. But once the initial, I think kind of that shock wore off and you start to really think about it, I don't have a problem with Atlanta stocking up on the most important position in the league, especially with how stacked this draft class was. Kirk Cousins is coming off a major injury. This is insurance for their future. What I do find weird was all the conversation that they said, hey, we're going to tell Kirk Cousins if we decide to draft a quarterback, and then word came out that that didn't happen.
No, he was got not a call when they were on the clock about to make the pick.
Yeah, so you already have a little bit of miscommunication, possible awkwardness with Kirk on a new team, in a new city, and knowing that he is immediately training his replacement.
I don't like anything about this. I don't like it from a team building standpoint. I think it's irresponsible to, if you are in win now mode, which, again, you look like you are, especially given how weak the NFC South is supposed to be, you have a chance at the field even with the NFC in general. Why you go out and get the $180 million quarterback and then you don't help him out with the first overall pick? Your best case scenario, and what Terry Fontenot said, was that we're cool if he doesn't play for the next 4 or 5 years. So you're going to forego the biggest cheat code in the NFL, which is having a quarterback on a rookie deal, in favor of paying a quarterback, taking this guy, but not getting Kirk Cousins some help in the first round. And if you knew that you were going to draft a quarterback, or if there was a chance you were going to draft a quarterback, why in the world do you pay Kirk Cousins not only that $100 million guaranteed, $90 million of that guaranteed came when he signed on the dotted line.
Yeah.
Like, you are paying that. Like, that is insane for a quote unquote bridge quarterback now, which is what Kirk Cousins has been, no matter how many years that bridge ends up being. I totally understand why Kirk is pissed.
Yeah.
Why he's mad, because he said, I needed help.
Yeah.
I need help right now.
Yeah.
And then if you're Michael Penix Jr., I feel bad for him too, because he is not a developmental prospect like J.J. McCarthy, or everybody likes to compare the situation to Jordan Love and the Packers. First of all, Packers are the only ones that can get away with sitting a guy for 3 years at this point.
Aaron Rodgers.
And also, you had Aaron Rodgers for a long time. He started on a decline when you drafted Jordan Love. Now, he went and had 2 MVP seasons after that, but he was on a decline. Also, you don't have ownership pressures like you do everywhere else when you're Green Bay. So I don't like comparing those two situations. I don't like this for Michael Penix Jr. because he's an older quarterback prospect with injury issues as well. He would do well to play right away. And now you're going to let him sit and get cold and then what? Come into the league at 26 years old in a couple of years when you can get out of Kirk Cousins' contract? I don't like anything about this. I don't think this is smart team building at all. Now, if Kirk gets injured, then that makes sense.
And he is coming off a major injury.
So then why did you pay him? Why did you pay him?
Because they needed someone. They probably didn't know if they were going to be able to get a quarterback that they liked on the board with that 8th overall pick.
I get that. I just don't understand.
Again, they're not going to be. This was Raheem Morris's quote, not knowing if they're going to be able to pick this high again because of the guy that they got in Kirk Cousins.
Which, again, makes it weird that you spent a top 10 pick on something that wasn't going to help you win now. If you think you're going to be good.
They said Kirk is our quarterback, but adding Michael Penix is thinking about our future.
It's so weird.
Again, like, it doesn't. The initial shock was like, wait, why? WTF? Like, this, you just got this, but the silver lining in all of this, like, it could be good for his development. You never know how a rookie quarterback is going to do that first year in the league. And he's not being asked to be a savior like Caleb, Jaden, Drake May, JJ, and Bo Nix are, right? He is going to be sitting behind a veteran quarterback who is well-liked in this league and who has had success. Now, again, The awkward part is Kirk was not aware of this, and he is in a new situation, a new locker room, on a new team. But the good news, we all know Kirk is a great guy. Like, if you've personally worked with him, but for all of us, we got to see kind of behind the curtain on the quarterback series. And I think everyone really fell in love with Kirk there. And then we heard from Penix recently, who shared that he actually had a conversation with Kirk.
I'm going to keep it, just between me and him right now, but it was definitely a good conversation, and, I'm super excited to work with him, and he said he's the same with me, so.
I mean, he said what you have to say.
I was going to say,
that's all you can say in this moment.
Again, I'm going to say this, I still do not like it. Also, now, say Kirk does struggle a little bit.
Yeah.
Because he is 36 coming off an Achilles injury.
Yeah.
Now you have a guy.
Is this his biggest injury he's ever recovered from?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is the biggest injury you can recover from in the NFL.
Yeah.
I don't know why we're treating it like there's a whole conversation for another time is who Kirk Cousins is as a quarterback and what you're going to get from him coming off an injury like this that we're kind of dismissing. But. Yeah.
So maybe that's what they saw. Maybe that's what they saw. And maybe that's why in the back of their mind, we're like, okay, we have our guy.
But then
we have someone.
Then you don't
but we
spend
need someone
$100
else.
million on Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, irresponsible there.
Again,
but that's what Kirk gets. He always gets the biggest contracts. He has like an insane agent.
But you know that
and he's never been fully
Atlanta didn't have to pay
worth
Kirk Cousins.
what he's paid.
Atlanta didn't have to be the one to pay him.
But that's probably how they got him.
Elsewhere.
That's how they got him.
That's what I'm saying.
But they needed someone, and I don't think they knew what they were going to do here.
At pick 8, I get that's a little out of whatever the top 3 conversation, but there are things that you can, if you need a quarterback at that point, go get a bridge. Also, they have Jacoby Brissett, don't they? And he is a bridge quarterback. You already have that. Also, I like him.
Yeah.
So I don't think this was responsible.
This is future.
The best case scenario is that Kirk does really, really well.
Yeah.
Then you've wasted Michael Penix Jr.'s contract. You've wasted his age. You've wasted a top 10 pick where you could have gotten Kirk better.
I don't think you're wasting him because all he's going to do is learn and develop
you're
behind
wasting his contract?
You're
wasting
Cousins.
His contract.
And is it bad to that is the most important position in the league. And now you're rich in that position. That's like the one
you can't play
position.
2 quarterbacks at the same time. That's the thing. Being rich at the wide receiver position is awesome because you can play multiple wide receivers and you can insure against injury. You cannot play multiple quarterbacks, and if you do, then there's a saying that I get from coaches all the time: if you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none. And that's so true because, like I said, if Kirk struggles, now you've got a guy on the bench that people are like, bring in Penix, bring in Penix, bring in Penix.
So you're saying they turn the locker room and it turns the fans against the entire organization.
It creates a quarterback
staff.
competition where there doesn't need to be one, which then makes these guys feel like they have to go out there and just sling it all the time. I watched this with Ryan Fitzpatrick and Jameis Winston in Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
And it was so true. If you have 2 quarterbacks, you have none. I totally am on board with Kirk being pissed because you didn't do something to help the team right away. I would understand if Michael Penix Jr. was pissed because I don't think that this is a good situation for him. I think he needed to play now. And again, because he's older.
Yeah.
Also, he has injury issues. He's had multiple knee surgeries. So you're going to take a guy that you're not sure about.
So then maybe that's good. He's getting a little extra time.
He's a year removed from both of those. So that's why he didn't run it at Washington. He wasn't I think he rushed for 8. He rushed 8 times last year for Washington, so he's now a year removed from that. You want to play. Also, if you're a top 10 pick, you want to play.
Of course he does. Every great player wants to do that.
I don't like anything about this. I don't like anything about it. You cannot change my mind. It's not good team building.
No, but it happened. So it happened. So what I try to do is find the silver lining because you can't change it. What's done is done. It was a WTF moment. Every fan reaction, every media reaction. I thought one of the shocking moments in the top 10 was going to be a crazy trade up. We didn't get that. And then we had 6 quarterbacks taken in the top 12. There were so many things that I thought might happen. I don't think anybody had the Falcons taking a quarterback at number 8 on their bingo card.